All right, guys. So welcome to my first podcast ever for the Nonstop Financial page. I'm excited because I have the CEO of a major life insurance company, National Life Group. I got Mehran from Tehran. I'm excited to speak with you. I've never in my life spoke to a CEO of an insurance company, nor have they ever given me the time of day to come see me. So I have a lot of gratitude for you flying from Baltimore, which is a 4.5, 5-hour flight, to come down here to talk to a youngster like me, 25. And yeah, I was nervous. I had butterflies. I was like, never spoke to a CEO of a major insurance company. I was like, I'm gonna have to button up a little bit. So I was excited to have you come down and speak about your journey, and especially being an immigrant coming over to the United States and stuff, and just the trials and tribulations that you probably went through to come to the United States. Did you know English before you came here, or did you have to learn it?
First of all, it's a pleasure to be with you. So
Thank
you for having me and opportunity to meet the entire team. I didn't actually. I probably knew 4 words: hello, hi, how are you? That was it. So pretty much learned everything during the first year.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's crazy because a lot of people, they talk about, especially nowadays, they're like, yeah, this is really hard. I'm like, he had to learn English and then he became a CEO of an insurance company. Like, your heart is so different than these other people's heart that are immigrants that are coming to the United States and stuff. There's a whole different level of how hard life is, if that makes sense. And
Yeah, it does actually. I actually describe the first year as being like walking in a haze or a fog, right? Stuff was happening to you so fast, and you're trying to keep up with it. You're trying to figure out what is what. You know, you're trying to get enrolled in school, getting your driver's license, find a place to live. So there's a lot going on, and it's happening real fast.
yeah, really fast. And you have to grow up faster. Like, I had to grow up really fast because I had a single dad. My dad 2 months behind on rent. Like, the reason they didn't evict us is because they knew he had 2 little kids, you know? So like, I had to grow up a lot faster. So you probably had to grow up really fast getting over to the United States and stuff. So being able to grow up and mature a lot quicker than other people is huge. And when people hear CEO of a major insurance company, they probably picture a very like traditional path. Like, went to college, was probably born in the United States. You took like a different
Silver spoon in the mouth.
yeah, silver spoon. Like, they probably like, oh, he probably grew up rich and probably inherited his dad's insurance company. Your story wasn't traditional at all. And what was your early life actually like growing up in Iran and stuff? What was your life actually like growing up in a different country?
So it was a great life, by the way. It wasn't. It was not a glorious, multi-million-dollar family. It was a great family, great dad, great mom, and great family. To be honest with you, we had everything that we ever wanted to have. Tremendous love in the family. High priority on education. High priority to be a stand-up member of the community, be a worthy human being. I hung around a lot with my dad from the time I was 7 years old. So I had a front seat in watching one of the greatest leaders that I have ever watched, and had a front row seat. My mom was an amazing leader. She was a lioness. And my mother had great expectations of her kids as well. And so I thought I had everything that I needed, candidly. What do you need more than love in your life?
I agree. And there's a lot of people that don't experience that kind of love growing up and stuff. So it's obviously grateful that you had that growing up, because you took everything you learned from your parents and then you put it into your adulthood. Correct. And a lot of kids they don't have that. They don't have that, the parent to look up to. So that's great that you obviously did. Coming over to the United States at 17, what was it like? Were you scared? Were you nervous? Were you like, am I gonna have to go fight a lion? Like, what was it? What was it like coming over to the United States at 17?
So to say that it wasn't scary, that would be a lie. You're born 7,000 miles away in a different culture. The Iran that I grew up in was more like a Western country than not. And at the time, it was referred to as Paris of Middle East. It was different times. It was very, very scary to be separated from your family
Yeah.
and to be in a new environment. So there was a bit of a anxiety and being anxious. However, my parents, I think, had equipped me well in terms of coping mechanism, in terms of how do you make sense out of this thing. I had the good fortune of having my cousin who was here already, and that was my landing spot. And I was just embraced by a great group of people in the high school that I attended. As I mentioned to you, I was a bandy, and that basically means I was in a marching band.
Yeah.
Playing the trumpet. I also in the high school I played soccer, so I was part of a community that took care of me, and I was very, very fortunate in my opinion.
Were you? Did you grow up playing the trumpet, or you learned it in the United States?
No. I actually played a couple of instruments when I was in Iran, and of course, every kid who grows up in Middle East is in love with soccer.
Yeah. And did you, when you came over to the United States as a kid, did you know you wanted to be a CEO of a big company, or did you have other dreams that you were trying to accomplish? Or you're like, because like me growing up, I grew up in poverty. I grew up broke. Like I knew I was going to go be successful. I just didn't know what it was going to be like because I didn't want my kids and future family to grow up the way I did. So did you come to the United States? You're like, I know I want to go be like a CEO of some sort of company. Like, did you know that's something you wanted to do, or did it kind of just fall into place?
I would say my dream was to be a physician, actually, believe it or not. So at age 17, while I was trying to figure out where to go to college, in that search process, I actually met with the assistant dean at a medical school, which I'm not going to mention the name, to interview and find out how I need to pursue a medical school.
Yeah.
And please bear in mind, this was like 4 decades ago. The guy basically told me it's going to be a challenging road. And oh, by the way, we prefer to have U.S. citizens in those seats versus people who come from another country.
I know. When did you become CEO of National Life Group?
I became a CEO of National Life Group in 2009.
So even like that early on, like you said, they want people they wanted people that were born in the United States.
No, I was talking about medical school.
Oh, medical school.
Medical school.
I feel like both though, right? I feel like even like a CEO of an insurance company, it's like traditional to have like a guy that was born.
There is few of us.
Yeah, there's very few
Yes.
like immigrants.
But it wasn't as blunt as a assistant dean of a medical school effectively telling a young person, don't even bother because we prefer to have U.S. citizens in those seats. Now, as you're well aware, there are a lot of physicians in the country today who are immigrant.
100%.
Right? So it was a different ball game. It was a different era. And that was like crushing my dreams. So I actually went to my second choice, which was to be a software developer.
Yeah, and then from there you just...
From there, it was a progression within business, learning the business, and also a big part of my life I had to spend around business people, entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And eventually, I wanted to be able to run a business that I had accountability for its profit and loss, P&L, and also it would satisfy my entrepreneurial needs in terms of building something that was, or being part of something that was bigger than myself.
Yeah. What's something about your upbringing that you took with you that made you into the leader that you are today? Because being a CEO, take the title away, it's leadership. You got to go lead the individuals that are within your organization and stuff. What's something from your childhood, like mom or dad, that you learned? You're like, you took that trait and implemented it into what you built today.
I would say service and hard work, resilience, the grind of working hard for something you believe in. Immigrating to U.S., I pretty much supported myself, putting myself through school. And as far as my parents were concerned, they were generous in supporting me. However, I chose not to use the money and decided to basically support myself. As a matter of fact, when my cousin asked me to stay in the U.S. and go to school and pursue opportunities, I said I got to talk to my parents because I'm going to need their support.
Yeah.
And my cousin asked me one of my favorite questions at age 17. He said, "Are you a boy or a man?" I said, "Of course I'm a man." And he said, "Then you're going to support yourself. You don't need your parents' support." So my parents were gracious enough to provide that support, but ultimately I was able to support myself.
I like that because growing up, I always only had myself. So it was like I relied on myself to get me to where I was going to go. I didn't rely on Sean or I didn't rely on other people. Like I had to rely on myself because at the end of the day, you yourself is going to get there.
Correct.
And I think that's what dictates like from a boy to a man is when you know that it's you that is going to get to where you want to go in life.
It builds character.
And it builds character.
It does. There's
100%.
No question about it. And looking back at it, I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest with you. I think it was a tremendous life lesson. The community that I was part of, people I worked with, it was a great support system. And that's one of the reasons I always say culture matters.
Yeah.
Who you hang out with matters.
I agree with that. There's like the terminology, you probably heard it, like the saying, like proximity is power. Like who you hang around with will dictate the rest of your life. Like if you hang around people that drink and do drugs, you're probably going to drink and try drugs, right?
Correct.
So I agree. I think proximity is huge. Where do you see the life insurance space changing? Because it's not normal to be 25 and to be in life insurance. Like I do AAU basketball now and I feel like the parents are like, does he actually do life insurance? You know? And I feel like it's turning a little bit younger now. What trend do you see AI taking over life insurance? Like, is there like, do you think life insurance, there's going to be a future with it? I do, obviously. But
Right.
for the people that are watching this, do you see a future? Where do you see life insurance going as a CEO? And you're seeing the books, you're seeing the trajectories, the health questions changing, stuff like that.
So clearly AI is part of the future.
Yes.
Okay. You cannot avoid it. There is a debate going on and, we have gotten through introduction of internet, electricity, innovation, and what we have experienced over the past decades. AI is the next step, right? I think while AI is an enabler in many ways, and who knows how far it's going to take us, candidly, quite powerful. I also believe in HI, human intelligence. I think there's a place for innovation around technology like AI, and there is a place for human intelligence and its evolution.
Yes.
So the question becomes, how do we leverage AI for betterment of lives in many ways? People don't wake up in the morning and say, hey, I want to buy life insurance or I want to buy an annuity and save for my retirement. Insurance is sold, and I believe there is always a place for human beings to be part of the process. I also believe that part of the job of an agent is to be a life coach, candidly. I know that sounds a little bit like Dr. Phil, Oprah Winfrey kind of a thing, but there's an element of basically financial education, financial literacy involved that can be only provided by a human being sitting next to a human being and unpacking their hopes and desires by listening to them and basically providing the financial literacy that's required for one to plan for their future and also for their legacy. As far as young people are concerned, what I'm seeing is a trend of young people wanting to be involved in something that is bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
This is a mission-driven and purposeful industry, and to that end, I think it is perfect spot for young people.
I agree with what you're saying because I don't think the business gets real until you have your first death claim.
Correct.
Like I don't think it gets real. I remember I sold a lady, her name was Deborah, in Arizona, coincidentally. It was an in-home sale. and she thought she had a whole life policy, and she had an accidental policy with I'm not even gonna say the insurance company, but she had an accidental policy, and I pulled out the paperwork, showed her, sold her a whole life policy for $70,000 with a couple carriers, and I get a call on the golf course, and she goes, "Hey, John just died. He had a heart attack on his motorcycle and just passed away." And I remember her helping her get the check, and it was a $70,000 check, and that's when it actually gets real, because you don't realize, especially doing an in-home sale, because he's showing me his guns, he's showing me his military badge. It's like I knew him, and just to think like he passed away, and I was there like helping him with his life insurance to take care of the wife and then take care of the mortgage when he passed away. It's just crazy because the opportunity isn't real until you actually have your first death claim, in my opinion. And that's when it becomes real.
Couldn't agree with you more. As a matter of fact, while families are going through challenging times, it's devastating to lose somebody you love. At the same time, they're very happy to see you.
Yes.
Because you're actually coming with something that is going to not eliminate the pain. However, it helps them to cope with the pain.
I agree.
And pay attention to their family, pay attention to themselves. Because while they have lost a loved one, there are things that can be taken care of without worrying about how the heck am I going to deal with all these expenses that now I have to deal with.
I agree. Now, I feel like a lot of people now talk about what the life insurance space can do for like the agent, but they don't talk about what it can do for the families. And that's what's huge.
It does amazing things for people. Look, as a guy who's been in this industry for over 4 decades, I own our products. My family members own our products. I believe in the power of life insurance and annuity business. What this country is all about is about self-help.
Yeah.
Versus relying on government or relying on anybody except yourself.
I agree.
So in my opinion, life insurance and annuity products are about empowerment. When something horrible happens to a family, like death of a breadwinner, the family either stays together or the family falls apart.
I agree.
Our products and services helps the family stay together.
And how long has NLG been around?
178 years young.
And and you guys paid a death claim on the Titanic, right?
Correct.
Like
Correct.
fact, yeah.
We have actually been there during world wars, during pandemics, disasters.
That's cool.
And we are innovators of living benefits, insurance that you don't have to die to use.
Yeah.
I refer to it as the new kind of insurance.
Nobody knows that. And if you're watching this is very important. Is if you have a critical illness, chronic heart attack, stroke, cancer, you don't realize that you're not going to be working anymore, probably.
Correct.
So to have access to a life insurance policy, if it's $1 million, $500,000, to have access to some of that money is huge, because I tell my clients, I'm like, even if you don't want the life insurance, it's called life assurance, not death insurance. It's meant to be there for while you're living. And if you were to have a heart attack, stroke, or cancer, you're not going to be working anymore. If you're not working, there's no food going on the table. So that's why the living benefits is important. I hear you talk about the living benefits a lot, and not most insurance companies I talk to, they don't talk about the living benefits.
Because we're a living benefit company. Foundation of life insurance is the mortality, no question about it. As I mentioned, we've been innovators of living benefits in 1937. So it's not a new idea. The other thing I would add, Jay, is the fact that you called it the live insurance. I actually refer to it as love insurance. And the reason I call it love insurance is because it is literally a selfless act.
Yeah.
Because effectively, you're not buying it for your own benefit. You're buying it to take care of your loved ones.
Exactly.
So it's a selfless act, in my opinion. And that's one of the reasons I love the profession.
Was there a specific like career moment that transformed you from like a operator to a leader? Like what really got you, like when you took over as CEO of National Life Group, what are some holes you had to patch? I don't know if you're able to say, but like what are holes you had to patch up, if that makes sense? What transformed you into a leader?
So anytime a new leader, like a new coach, right, that comes into the picture. You have to do an assessment,
Yeah.
right? What kind of a team you want to be? I know you're a huge basketball fan, right? So are you an offensive team? Are you a defensive team? What sort of a balance you go with? Are you going to have all the tall individuals, or what size players you're going to have
Yeah.
in which positions or whatever have you? Running an insurance company is very much is running a team,
Yeah.
right? And you need to figure out which competencies you need in which seats effectively. In very objective ways, you have to build a team that you want to lead as a new head coach,
I agree.
right? So that's exactly what I did. I took assessment of people who were there, and I created a vision for the future of the company. And based on that vision, I either picked people who were internal, or I went out and I brought in some free agents in order to put the right team on the field in order to start our growth journey. Look, the company that I had the privilege of becoming its 16th CEO. So in 178 years, we have had 16 CEOs. I'm number 16. It had a tremendous history, and it had a clean balance sheet, which is a blessing. And what we needed to create was a passion for the profession, becoming more of a mission-driven, reminding ourselves that we are a mission-driven company, and we want to create a movement in order to serve underserved markets. We love our affluent clients. 1% of the population in this country makes over $400,000 a year. So there's 99% of the population, literally, that, in my opinion, hasn't gotten enough attention. And to that end, that's where we put our emphasis.
Yeah. What do you, where do you see people plateau in leadership and in business? Like, why do you think people plateau in business and stuff?
When they become full of themselves.
That's good.
Right?
People don't want to hear that.
Yes. It's not about how much money you make.
I agree.
It's not about how big of a title you have. It is about not losing your servant's heart, not forgetting where you came from. Humility is the quality, in my opinion.
Humility is a quality. I remember that.
Complacency is a disease.
I agree.
And in any profession, there are times that people become complacent. I've made all the money I wanted to make. Nobody in my family has ever made this kind of money. Take a look at my title. And you have a tendency. Human beings have a tendency at times losing their way.
Yeah.
And the best way to stay grounded is by the kind of people you surround yourself.
100%.
One of the things I tell young people, being the older guy, is one of the most important decisions you make in your life is who you pick as a partner.
Yeah.
In life, right? That's one of the most important decisions. I am blessed because I have a wife, my partner, who is amazingly capable of keeping me grounded. I was raised by parents and my sisters and my brother who keep me grounded. And to me, that's a tremendous blessing.
Yeah.
So one of the most important decisions is who's going to be your life partner, because you want to pick somebody who lifts you up to the next level, and it's like 1 + 1 = 3.
How's your wife helped you in leadership and stuff? Like, how's your wife pushed you in business? Because obviously you're probably gone a lot, stuff like that. How has she pushed you?
So clearly your family makes sacrifices, right?
Yeah.
Because of the profession we are in. We travel a lot, long hours, so on and so forth. And my wife has been a tremendous partner and a teammate. We created dream together and we work towards that dream. And that's why I say my wife and I, we are a 1 + 1 = 3. So she's a wonderful human being, big heart, and she's just a lovable human being.
Yeah. Where does National Life Group rank on like the top insurance companies?
In 2025, we were ranked number 7 individual life insurance company in the country.
So how was it? How is it like? How have you led National Life Group's massive growth since taking over in 2009? Because you guys are growing like wildfire, obviously.
Yeah.
How have you led that? I guess what steps did you take to lead that, since we are running a top insurance company in the world?
So I have an amazing group of leaders in our company, our senior leadership team, if not the best, one of the best in the industry. We've been together for a long time.
Yeah.
Average tenure on my executive team is like 11 years. That is
rare.
long.
That's
Over
rare.
a
No, that's
decade.
rare.
That is rare. And also,
How'd you keep that loyalty? You earned it, obviously.
you
but
earn it.
I agree.
You earn it. Listen, you put a team together, you craft a vision
Yes.
that all of you are buying into. You treat each other with dignity and respect. We challenge each other. In my philosophy in leadership is one that there is lack of hierarchy, and also there is fair amount of intellectual wrestling, because that's the only way you come up with best decisions.
Yeah.
We love intellectual wrestling as long as it's done with respect and compassion.
What's your philosophy in hiring people?
I hire people who are smarter than me.
Ooh, that's
And
good.
every one of my teammates is hell of a lot smarter than me. You know, Jay, sometimes you're sitting in a conference room, or sometimes you're sitting in team meetings, and the kind of a conversation you're having is at a level that you almost pinch yourself and you say, how fortunate am I
Yeah.
to be sitting in this room with this group of talented people. So my claim to fame is hiring people who are smarter than I am.
When you walk into like an executive meeting with the group that you have and stuff like that, what like really stands out to you? Like, what are you looking for? Like, what stands out to you when you're running these executive meetings? So I'm assuming you have them every week, probably. What really stands out to you?
What stands out to me, while we are not a perfect team, we have alignment in terms of wanting to create greatness for right reasons. We want to be worthy of our clients and our agents. So we have figured out our why, and we have alignment in terms of what we want to accomplish. We want to be best at our profession, and we are willing to put the work in.
Where does the 7th biggest life insurance company, or the top set, the number 7 in the world, where are you guys located?
We have 2 home headquarters, home offices. One in Montpelier, Vermont, which is a smaller capital in the United States, and one in Dallas.
Dallas, yeah.
Yes.
I think it's crazy because like Vermont would be my last guest.
Yes.
Like if somebody's like, where do you think it would be? Vermont would be my last of the last guess if I were
So,
to.
Jay, I refer to National Life as a 178-year-old startup.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
And so the founders of National Life in 1848 had a vision of serving underserved markets.
Yeah.
And today, as 16th president and CEO, I'm sitting in front of you and saying, while we love our affluent clients, and we do plenty of business in that space with ball players, with entertainers, movie stars, so on and so forth, we also serve underserved markets. And a 178-year-old startup is a company which has a philosophy of earning the right to be in business every single day, versus basically relying on the glories of the past. We don't embrace complacency. We love to compete, and we love to serve.
I like that. Now, you talked a little bit about business. I'm huge on, I have to keep learning to keep earning. So what's the biggest advice you'd give me at 25 years old? If you were to look back at your 25-year-old self, what's like a big advice you'd give me?
Well, first of all, I don't want it to sound like I'm trying to blow smoke up your you-know-what. I think what you have accomplished at 25 is very impressive. As I've spent time with you, your servant's heart shines. the level of maturity you have around the business, and the kind of a philosophy you have in terms of what kind of people you want to surround yourself and how you want to mentor other people.
Yeah.
I would say stands out.
I appreciate that.
So my advice is don't ever lose the passion to be the coach and mentor to other people that you bring into the business. Stay grounded. Humility is a tremendous quality, in my opinion, no matter what kind of a profession you're in. So I learned that from my parents. I learned humility from my father, who was an accomplished leader in his own right. And that's one of the things I admired about my father. So that would be my advice.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And then if a client is watching this, a potential client, maybe an agent that would want to come work with Nonstop and everything, Nonstop Financial, what are some things, and I don't know the answer to this yet, so this isn't scripted. I don't know the answer. What do you like me? Do you not? What's your impression of, like, should people work at Nonstop? I would love to hear the real and honest truth.
So this is like absolutely shameless. You're looking for the endorsement here, huh?
Yes.
I think I already gave it to you.
I know you did a little bit.
So I would say over the time that you and I have spent together, the maturity that you demonstrate as a leader, the reason that you're in this profession to serve, what I have witnessed in terms of mentoring younger people, and not only mentoring them in the business, also mentoring them as far as life is concerned. I would say you're a 25-year-old that at times sounds like a 40-year-old. You know, that's a compliment, by the way.
Yeah.
I think the life experiences you have had has made you the man that you are. So I would say you can be a mentor, great mentor for younger people.
I appreciate that. And once again, I appreciate you, Mehran, coming down here, spending time with me. Like I said, I don't know if anybody watching this realizes how crazy it is to have a CEO come down to your office to give a presentation, talk about your story. And I appreciate that a lot. And I'm going to say that a lot, that I appreciate it, just because I'm still mind blown by it. When Devin texted me and said, "Hey, Mehran wants to come to your office," I was like, the CEO of National Life Group.
Why?
I'm like, why the hell does he want to come?
He has nothing to do.
I know. I'm like, I've never had
He's going to get on a plane, fly 4.5 hours.
I was like, this is crazy.
On his corporate jet, Southwest Airlines, row 6.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no way. But I'm glad. I've learned a lot. I've learned about your story, and I appreciate it. And if you don't know anything about National Life Group, now you do. It's one of the best IUL companies, living benefits companies. It's financially strong. It's financially stable. It's good for the agent. National Life Group's good for the client. It's good for the culture. It's good for the environment. So I have a lot of good things to say about National Life Group.
You have good taste, by the way.
And I wouldn't have you on a podcast if I didn't like you, especially my first podcast ever, by the way.
I understand.
Ever in my life.
I understand.
Hopefully I did a good job. I'm sure you've done some podcasts.
You did a fantastic job.
Okay.
Thank you. And remember, you never forget your first of anything.
I will never, Mehran from Tehran. Like I'll never forget it. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehran.
Thank you.